Hello there, you have entered the Chronics rabbit hole. This is episode 18 with me, Chris Davidsson from MAJESTICA. Hello there.
Hey,
Oh,
we can see and hear you great.
Oh, that's good. I can see you guys as well.
Awesome. How are you doing today? It's nice to see you, Chris.
Oh, I'm doing fine. It's Saturday.
yeah.
Very true.
Busy days.
Busy
It's
day. You
Saturday.
doing,
I'm doing good.
are you doing a lot of interviews today?
A few, yes.
Right
Um,
on.
a few, and then I have lots of other work going on.
Good for you. Yeah, you do have lots of work, and we want to thank you for spending some time with us today. I don't know if you know anything about us, but my name is Kyle. This is my beautiful fiance, Alanna.
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you. Cool.
And we're from Canada, so I don't know if you've ever played out in Canada or anything like that, but that's where we're from.
Okay, cool. I have never been to Canada.
Oh,
We
wow.
were almost about to go there with another band this year, but it didn't happen, sadly.
Wow. Well, if you ever make it out, we'll definitely come support you.
That would be cool, yeah.
So, Chris, we wanted to do a little icebreaker here because it's the first time that we've met you before jumping into the music all aboard the power train. So, we wanted to ask you. I looked up and I found out your name was Christopher Davidson, but you go by Chris David. And was there a reason for that? Is that just a more how you want to be referred to now?
No, this was just this just happened. Let's say that. It was an idea when I was gonna start playing with Tommy, actually. This was like 12, 13 years ago.
Oh, wow, okay.
He had this name, Tommy Rainseed. So we were like, okay, we need to make some artist names. That's gonna be cool, you know.
Right.
And this Chris David thing started. And then it's just been going like this because then it wasn't one album and then it wasn't two albums and then like
Yeah.
all right it is Chris David then, but I actually try to use Chris Davidson more these days than David.
Okay, so we'll refer to Chris Davison then.
Yeah, please do.
Sounds great. And as metal lovers, most metal lovers love cats, and it looks like you have a cat as well. We'd love to know your cat's name.
Yeah, I have three cats.
You have three.
Wow.
Yeah, I have three cats. One is called Wafflan, which is waffles in Sweden, so her name is
Waffles.
Waffles.
Aw.
And then I have one called Varmus. And then I have one called Geezer after the bass player Geezer Butler in Black Sabbath.
Geezer. Yeah,
But
absolutely.
but it's a girl, so it's not a male cat. It's a girl. But I thought it was a male cat, so I named it Geezer, and then yeah, it was not.
That's I don't know if you
That's
know
perfect.
Flintstones, but we have two cats, and their names are Bam Bam and Pebbles.
Ah, cool.
But they're also reversed. So Bam Bam is our girl cat and Pebbles is our boy cat.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's time. It's easy to confuse.
It
Yeah.
is. And,
Yeah.
and speaking of Geezer with bass, what got you into bass playing yourself?
Well, of course, it was Geezer Butler, or one of them,
I
uh,
bet.
from Black Sabbath. But actually, I would say who got me to play bass was Lemmy from Motorhead, because I was actually
Really?
playing guitar. Yeah, I went to music school, and I was playing guitar there, and I discovered Motorhead, and this guy was so cool. So I was like, okay, let's play bass instead. I'm gonna learn that Ace of Spades riff,
Oh, of
with heavy
course.
version on bass. And then I just, thought it was so fun, so I ended up playing bass instead. And
Good
that's
pick.
basically how it all started. And then Geezer Butler, Steve Harris, Robert Trujillo from Metallica,
Yeah,
huge influences. And yeah, then I stayed with the bass.
that's awesome. And you also do vocals too, right?
Yeah.
And you did a great job. We weren't expecting you to have vocals on the powertrain here, and that was quite an awesome video itself. And I think we should talk about the powertrain video itself because I know you actually got to ride the train itself,
Yeah.
and I'd love to hear the story about that.
uh, yeah, I never thought I would ever drive a train in my life. And it's so cool because this is a train. It's not an electricity train, it's with a proper engine. So it's
Wow.
of course, a really big engine because trains are heavy. And we were going to do this scene inside there because I was the driver of the train, or what do you call it,
The
engineer or
conductor.
something. You're not really
Right.
driving the train.
Just
There's
guiding
no,
it.
you're not turning that much.
Right.
Uh, so we were in there. So I thought that I would just be there, looking like I was driving it, and the other guy was actually gonna drive it. But then he said, "Well, you can drive here because it's easy, and so you just take this throttle here, and then you go
Yeah.
and
Oh,
the brake."
cool.
So I was like trying this, and I was a bit, careful
Of
because
course.
I didn't
Don't want to
know
break the
what
thing.
was gonna happen really. But it was super cool, and it felt kind of powerful,
No
because the,
kidding.
the actual throttle was like super big, because you could be two people pushing this throttle, so it was super big, and this
Wow.
area where you were driving was also kind of big, so it felt really like powerful to stand there and you just take this lever and it's like,
No kidding. That's
That's
awesome.
awesome.
So before jumping into this Powertrain album, I wanted to show you that we've had many interviews now, but you're the first band that has got me to actually draw their logo.
Oh, really?
It was that mesmerizing, and that helped me get into you guys more. And then it made me look into your history. And I know you guys were a Rain Seed from 2000 to 2012, I believe. And then you guys switched to, no, I think you actually was 2019 when you switched to Majestica, when
Yeah,
you joined with Nuclear Blast, and you've now are having your third studio album with Powertrain coming out for February 7th, which is amazing. And you joined the band in 2012, right?
exactly, yeah.
Right. So then you were with Rainseed for a good 7 years before. Then they had a big break, and there's been a big break between the Powertrain album as well. So you've been busy with Therian performing live with them as well. You have your other band, Wisdom, as well, which is really cool. So we're going to talk about Majestica now, though. And you got 10 amazing tracks here. Am I correct that after Powertrain, you have two more singles before the album comes out?
Yes, it's, well, kind of. It's one single, and then there's gonna be a little kind of special thing coming at the same time as the album. So it's not gonna be two
Oh,
singles before, and then there's gonna be something more afterwards as well,
Very cool.
that you can call as a single.
right.
But it's just one more song before the album, and that's because we have the Christmas Carol, and
Yep.
it's Christmas time, and of course we don't want to steal the light of a Christmas Carol, because it's people enjoy listening to that in Christmas time. So I think it's
Yes,
Absolutely.
absolutely.
giving it every year its month.
Yeah. And
Very
then we
cool.
wanted to mention about the theme of the album itself, because we saw the Powertrain music video, which is amazing. But then does this train lead throughout the whole album? And what is the theme of this album?
So that's the cool thing with this album, that you could say that there is no theme. The
Oh,
theme is,
Okay.
the whole idea is based on a concept idea we had, that let's create a concept album somehow with some kind of connection, only a little bit between the songs, but
okay.
it's not going to be one story, or it's not going to be, you know, it, we want to create different songs. We don't want it to be like a Christmas Carol. It's one story or something like this.
Right.
We figured, let's do this Powertrain, and it's a ride with different people representing different songs in this train, and then we
Cool.
can do songs that we just go in different directions. So there is not really a like red line through the album,
Right.
but the album is basically the train ride with all these different people, and we are telling story about all the different people in
Very cool. So it's like a loosely connected string just because of it's a train with all these different people. That's something I noticed in the music video is there were so many different styles of people that were on the train, so many different variations. And the thing about power metal in of itself is it is the most accessible kind of metal for the masses. Was that something that you were trying to convey with the different styles of people that were on the train? Is just how you expansive the power metal genre can be.
Yeah, you could say yes. I think, I mean, it was like this. We wanted to have a few different things. Like we wanted, of course, to have, as Rainsy did this, movie themed albums. We wanted
Yeah.
to have like a song based on some kind of movie, and we had this cool metal song on the last on Above the Sky called Mötley True. We wanted to have something similar to Mötley True, so we wanted a heavy metal song. So we needed to have heavy metal people. So we kind of even before all the songs, we had all these ideas of what we wanted to have on the album. So for the movie thing, for example, we were discussing different movies. We had like ideas. It could be something based on or feeling like Star Wars, or it could be on Terminator or something. So we had these different ones, and then when we had a couple of different songs, we were like listening and trying to feel which movie does this song actually fit of this one in the list.
Yeah.
And with power metal, as as you say, there's so many different things, and you can work on different themes because there's dragons, but there is also the dragon thing is probably the most common, but nowadays there's so many Viking things. There is all this so many different kind of fantasy styles going on. So we figured we would do something like that as well. We will put some of the fantasy themes in here. There will be some song about a dragon, of course. There will be so let's just kind of get a few different things or a few things that is pretty common in power metal and put it here, and then we go a little bit our own route as well. So different.
It's very different and awesome, because when you bring up movies here, the two movies that we were thinking about while watching this Powertrain music video was Snowpiercer and The Polar Express. Because Snowpiercer, if you make it to the very front of the train, that's where like the main party is, and then you guys are performing there, so everyone's trying to get to the front. So I thought that was really cool and very theatrical. It was very power metal, but it had a lot of like symphonic orchestra elements to it, which I really love myself too. So it's a great job.
I think we wanted to, as the first album we did, Above the Sky, is more pure power metal, you could say. It's not symphonic. And A Christmas Carol, I would say, became a really kind of successful album for us. But that's very symphonical. So we thought that let's kind of
blend them.
Yeah, blend those two albums together and see where it takes us, really.
Very cool. I know Powertrain, the album releases February 7th. What are some of the things that fans can expect leading up to the release, even including your 70 Tons of Steel tour that you're going to be doing?
So we... yeah, that's a good question. What are we gonna do? There's so many things going on.
There is.
It was so fun. I was working so much on different things that I run a vlog on my YouTube.
You do.
Wrong year on this vlog. I was like, I'm gonna make it so people know where I am and which day, so they can, like, the fans that went to this show know that it is actually filmed the same day as the show.
Right.
And I was watching, I put it on YouTube, and then I started seeing comments like, why is it saying 2025 here? I was like, I don't know.
Oops.
I didn't even think about that. I was writing 2020 because there's been so many planning things.
Wow. Good for you then.
So what's going to happen is that we have, of course, one more single, and then there's going to be a music video, of course.
Awesome.
And then we have lots of these kind of behind the scene things going on, which we're gonna continue doing, explaining stories and explaining like the recording process. And
awesome.
We do this behind the song, we call it on social medias.
Behind the song, I like that.
Yeah, that's amazing. Yeah, and you have 30 episodes on that tour vlog now too, don't you?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, so congrats on that. That must be going well, and it's so fun because we started vlogging too when we've been going to concerts, and something about that is just magical. And what have you learned through your vlog experience that maybe can help other vloggers that are trying to be metal vloggers?
That it's hard.
It's very hard.
Yes.
What food to eat, all these things, right?
Yeah, it's that it takes more time than you think. That's what can say. And you need to be. It's hard. I think the hardest part is the editing, because you somehow need to make it interesting.
Yeah.
But like for me, when I'm touring and doing this vlog, I don't have any time to prepare things. Like,
Of course.
we are let's say we are at the venue for 40 minutes. I'm gonna do a sound check there, and I have never seen these venues. I don't know if there's gonna be like good lighting or things like this.
Yeah.
And so sometimes I'm just, now I need to film. Like, it does, just whatever happens has to happen now. And you cannot be too picky about how it looks. Sometimes you just need to
go with the flow.
You just need to roll with the flow somehow.
Yeah.
And the same with how I'm, if I make a music video, for example, I will dress up, and I will fix the hair and all this stuff.
Yeah.
But sometimes when you do a vlog, it's not going to happen. So you just need to live with whatever happens.
However you're looking.
Yeah. And I think that's important with a vlog, that you let that happen. So it's actually looks like you're doing it
it's genuine.
It's genuine.
Yeah, it's genuine. Exactly.
Right. Well, that's awesome. And now we'll move kind of back to the album itself, because I find it really interesting that since the music was written, recorded, and produced by Majestica themselves, what track holds a special place in your heart the most, and why does this track move you so much?
Ooh.
Ooh. Is it the dragon one?
Oh, yeah. Let's not talk about that one, because there's things about that song. No, I think of course the song Mega True is cool, because that's one of the songs that I wrote from the beginning myself.
Oh, cool.
Which was based on one of my ideas, so that's a fun thing. But also it's hard, because the album, some songs, we thought this is going to be the best song on the album, and then when you do this whole recording process, it might change.
Right.
So maybe now I will say completely different songs than I would have said when we started recording the album, and it hasn't been long enough for me to really figure out which is my favorite track yet on the album.
Right.
But I will say that one of the most fun things, and one that I think is very special, is this Battle Cry song. Because it was such a good time in the studio recording all the choirs and
nice,
and all these things. So it has a lot of good memories, this song, Battle Cry.
Be a good concert song, it sounds like, too.
Oh yeah, it will be a super cool concert song.
Just like Powertrain. Oh man, that's going to be quite a show opener. And you mentioned something about Mega True. I don't know if you can allude to it, but you're the brainchild for it, and there was a theme on there. Can you allude to that theme at all?
Yeah, that's a metal song.
It's a metal song.
I don't know. Have you guys listened to that song?
We just got the album, but we have not listened to it yet. So we have not heard it yet. We're going to after this.
Because it has a theme, but the thing is that this Mega True, it's a metal song, of course, like this old one, the Metal True, which is just based on a super heavy riff. Like, this is going to be heavy metal to 11. Nice. This is kind of the new version of that song, or not the new version, but it's a new edition. It's a new metal song.
Okay.
But the lyrics on this song is they have a theme, but the theme is not as obvious as you might think it is. And I think if you listen to it a few times, you will figure out what is happening in this song, because it's based on another band.
Oh, really?
Oh, really? Okay, yeah. I'm intrigued.
Oh, we gotta go all in. We'll have to come back to you on that one.
So all the lyrics, the whole song, all the lyrics is based on something from another band.
Oh wow!
So if you listen to it a couple of times, you will figure out what is happening in these lyrics.
I wonder who's going to figure it out
funny
first.
When you figure it out, and you will have.
It's pretty obvious.
Yeah, it's super obvious if you listen closely. Like in the bridge, you will hear it right away what's happening, or you will recognize the band.
Okay.
And then if you listen more, you will hear that the whole song is based on the same thing.
So
That's
cool.
So fun.
And then
so
when
much
you have
fun.
listened a few times, you can actually find you could sit down and let's say figure it all out, what is happening and how many things is in there.
It's like a puzzle piece with a puzzle within the music, and I love that.
Oh yeah, yeah, it really is. It's a yeah, I think it's going to be cool on social medias to ask some questions about that song.
Oh,
Well,
absolutely.
keep an eye out for Make It True and the whole album then. And something else I think is really cool is you have a place called Majestic Studios that you guys now have that is your recording place. Is there any funny or interesting stories at this new place, or could you paint a picture for us of what this Majestic Studio place looks like?
Yeah, it's a new thing we did actually for the album. Um, because we had this rehearsals, we got a new rehearsal place and it has different rooms, so we kind of built like a studio in there as well, so we can basically we recorded drums in the rehearsal room, so we created a pretty cool rehearsal room which is having all this sound absorption material and everything, so you can actually have it like a good studio room.
Yeah.
Then there is 2 more rooms with different things, and one of the room where it's like the studio room or the the control room is also our live streaming room for, let's say, Patreon, because we do a lot of Patreon things in there.
Yes.
That's the Majestica Alliance?
Yeah, exactly.
Right on.
Alliance. That happens in this control room, and we have like sofas and all this stuff. And then we do a lot of our social media material in there as well. So we have this kind of walls based with logo and
Nice.
a theme and
Very cool.
yeah, so
Very
it's
majestic.
It is majestic. It is,
I
yeah.
bet.
The music room is like a recording wall for social media. It's it's different things in there. So it's pretty badass, I would say.
That's
That's
awesome.
awesome.
Do you have any images or anything like that out there, like in a vlog or anything like that for people?
Yeah.
Cool.
I
I'll have
think
to search that out.
plenty. I think it is on our Majestica social medias as well.
Okay. Speaking of Majestica, I'm really interested in how names come to be. And we know Epica used to be Sahara Dust, and then they found Epica through like another band that they liked.
Album
There's like a
name.
name for a song or something like that. But I noticed Majestic was one of your album names for Rainseed. And was that something that helped you make your band name when you wanted to start fresh?
Yeah. You, so yeah,
Right on.
exactly. Because we wanted to somehow keep Rainseed alive. We just didn't want to abandon everything with Rainseed.
Yeah.
So we thought that when we were figuring out all these names, we were trying different song titles on Above the Sky, but using the same font as Rainseed. So we kind of did a new logo with one of the song titles, and then it didn't really work out. It didn't sound cool. So we started looking at old song titles that we were gonna rework, and then this Majestic thing came in, and
Perfect.
it was just like, okay, Majestic, and then somebody said Majestica. That's awesome.
It is.
Yeah, that is awesome.
And then, of course, I looked this up on the internet, and I couldn't find anything about Majestica. And then we realized, maybe 4 months after the album was released, that there was some kind of group called Majestica that was playing some symphonic things in Australia.
Oh,
but
really?
they didn't have that many listeners, so it wasn't that easy to find them at that time.
Okay.
There was another group, so sadly we kind of stole their name or something. I don't know, but we didn't know about them. It was just our own idea, and we really looked it up and tried to not take it from anybody else. But apparently, there was a band or a group called Majestica.
That is odd. I wouldn't have thought that. And what do you have to do on a like trademark side for a band name like that? What if another band tries to be Majestica like you just had with that? Like, do you have to do a trademark thing to help that?
No, I don't know. We haven't. No, I don't think so. I mean, if you
No,
go on
that's good.
Spotify and you write, I don't know, Grave, there will probably be 10
50
Grave
different
bands.
bands.
Okay, that's good. That was more just a personal question too.
I think, if you earlier in the 70s, maybe it was maybe a big thing if you took somebody else's name.
Right.
Today, it's, of course, I cannot start a new band called Metallica or something like this. That's going to be.
Yeah, exactly.
But there's so much, and you could basically find every word on Spotify as a band. So
No kidding.
Absolutely.
That suffices. There you
So you guys are going to be playing on 70,000 tons of metal. I called it steel last time. 70,000 tons of metal. Have you played on that cruise ship before, or is this going to be your first time?
Now, for me, it's the first time. Tommy has played
Oh.
there before, one time with Sabaton, I think.
Right.
But for me, it's the first time. So I'm really looking forward to it. The guys in Therion, they have played there a couple of times, and they told me all these cool stories. So it's going to be awesome, I think.
It's going to be awesome.
You're going to have a train on a cruise ship.
A train on a cruise ship. That'll be great.
Of course, if you're going to bring the train to the cruise ship.
The power train to the cruise ship.
In the parking lot down below, there's going to be a train museum of our train,
You'll have to make sure you have the guy from the music video who figured out time travel to be there with you. So
yeah.
He might appear, in the middle of the set or something on stage. Like,
just
I'm here.
That'd be perfect. How big will this show on the 70 tons of metal be for you, considering it is a week before the release of Powertrain?
It's going to be kind of big because we do 2 shows on the 70,000 tons of metal. You do one on the way out and you do one on the way back.
Oh, cool.
And one of these shows is going to be the release show for Powertrain. So we're going to play pretty much the full album on the cruise.
Oh my gosh.
Oh man, that's epic.
Yeah, maybe not exactly all the songs because I think it's too long for the actual set list that we can play. But yes, we're going to play almost the whole album. Well, and there's also going to be a listening session on the cruise.
So and a listening session there too. That's so cool.
Wow, that's amazing. That should get everyone Majestica fans excited for that one. I know I've wanted to go to that cruise forever, and congrats to get there because that's a big deal for a lot of metal bands, I know.
Yeah, it's going to be awesome.
I noticed that you're also wearing your Wisdom shirt right now for your band. So that's really awesome.
Good eye.
Thank you. For those who have not heard of Wisdom yet, what can we expect to hear and experience with its music? And can you name a song that we should react to?
Yeah, of course, you should react to the song. Oh, Way of the Lost is a cool one.
Way of the Lost.
Way of the Lost. Okay.
Yeah. Wisdom is like epic doom, so it's very different to Majestica because it goes slow. And
nice, cool.
Very cool.
Super slow, and for the future now, it's the next song that's coming up, probably early next year. It's already done, but I just have some video ideas I need to make for it. That one is the slowest song so far, which is super slow. So it's kind of cool to do that.
That's a whole different feel from power metal too. So that's nice that you're getting, because you must love obviously different types of metal. And it's so cool to know when band members get to have their kind of own band to get out their slower type of metal. Because I know it's fun doing power metal, but I thought it was really cool to know you do doom metal in a slower tempo. So I'm looking forward to checking out that band too.
Yeah, it's of course because I was such a big Black Sabbath fan back in the day. So
no kidding.
To play some Black Sabbath.
Right. Yes.
That's why I created that. I actually created Wisdom just so I could play super loud on amps, because with Majestic like this, we have all these crazy systems, with the in-ears, and you don't have an amp on the 11 and things like this. So I was like, okay, I'm gonna create a band that plays super heavy, super slow, and it's gonna be super loud. Yeah,
you look happy.
Back in the days.
Thank you again for your time. You got the Dead Don't Die tour, which is all around Germany starting December 26th to January 11th. You got 7 shows during that time. So if you're in Germany, please go support Majestica there. You have 6 festivals coming up starting at the end of the year and next year, 2 in the USA. You're going to Sweden, Czech, and Denmark. So you're a busy, busy guy with that. And I wanted to bring up a way that we can support you, the Chronicans from this channel that haven't met you yet. You have your own Patreon, which is the Majestica Alliance with, I think, 3 tiers there. You yourself have a YouTube membership now. that you can join and you can be a part of all those cool vlogs that you're doing there and everything else. And what can we expect when we join these tiers?
On my YouTube or on the Patreon?
On the
Both of them even.
So the Majestica Patreon, there's so many things happening. There is you get one of these mugs. There is like a Rainseed tier where we do like reaction videos for Rainseed songs.
Oh, really?
Because we haven't heard them. Some of the songs I haven't heard in 15 years.
Wow.
Yeah, that's cool.
Also something. So it's almost the first time on some of the songs. So you get this Rainseed mug, and then there is another tier, which you get the Majestica mug, which is called like Metal United, and there it's more about how we play the songs, because usually we release like a playthrough of a song on YouTube once a month. It's
Right.
not been that many now because we have been releasing new music, so it's more been about behind the song kind of things, but more in-depth things on the Patreon.
Right.
Otherwise, it's more like this is how the riff goes and things like this. And then it's also a live stream every month with at least a couple members going on. So there's many
Cool.
different things happening. I think there's 5 tiers actually.
5 tiers. Wow.
Wow.
Okay.
Yeah, I think it is. It was 3 from the beginning, but it's 5 now, I think.
Wow. So many ways to get some extras if you want to go deep into that train with you guys.
Yeah, exactly.
Right on
Exactly.
then.
And
And
on the YouTube, you can. There is a bit because I'm still trying things out on YouTube. So if you become
Mhm.
a member there, you can. I'm doing these votes on a few things, so I can change things, and if I have an idea, I can put it there, and people can say yes and no if they think it's good. So you can be like a part of the creation process for the YouTube channel.
Very cool.
Great.
And
We
then
just
also-
became a member too, so that's awesome.
Awesome. Oh, yeah, cool.
Yeah.
So I also have this. You can do personal questions if you're on the higher tier, and then you
Great.
get kind of code for discount code for the merchandise. Because I have this merchandise store called Bangover.rocks, which is the
Okay, good to know.
official store for Majestica merchandise and Wisdom merchandise, and also the other guys' bands. They have, the drummer has a band called Vionity.
I didn't know that. Okay.
Yeah, and the guitar player has a band called Mad Hatter.
Nice.
You can buy all their CDs and things through my store, Bangover.rocks.
That's great.
Very cool.
We'll definitely throw up all that in the description too. And thanks for being so accessible for your fans. I know as fans, when we want to meet our heroes and stuff, we wish we had more things like Patreon and all that. So thanks for utilizing that, because it does mean a lot for everyone around the world. And now that the time has come, we want to just thank you for spending time with us. We can't wait for the Powertrain album to come out next year, and you got a lot of awesome good shows coming up soon. And I didn't know if you could say something for us before you go.
Yeah, I think this Powertrain thing is a pretty cool journey. So I hope that people want to try listen to the album, because I think there is at least one song that will fit everyone.
Right.
Because the album is like a journey. It is like a train ride. There is fast songs. There is more slower songs. There is kind of let's say not disco songs, but more 80s kind of metal.
Yeah.
It has all these kind of vibes going on through there. So it's a lot of variations. I think everybody can find something good on this album. So I think you should get on board and enjoy the ride.
I would love to get on board and enjoy the ride. That looked like a fun train, I'm gonna be honest.
Oh yeah, it was a really fun day. I had so much fun that day. It was, and I don't know if you have noticed that we are doing different roles in the video.
Yes, you are. Someone's doing the tickets thing there too. I think Tommy was doing tickets.
Tommy was doing tickets.
Yeah,
driving the train.
Yeah. Exactly.
Loved it.
So it was fun to be all these different people and get some clothing for that, and create these characters.
And we're from Canada, so we don't even have trains, so it's nice to be on it for once.
Really? Don't you have trains in Canada?
Well, we have
not where we're from, at least. We don't utilize
on the
them.
island. They got rid of the train on the island, so we have train tracks that are not in use. And then on the mainland, we just really have one like fancy train in the winter that you can kind of ride. That's like the Polar Express that we have in Canada. But passenger trains, we don't really have many. I don't know if it's still
We've moved on
inactive.
from it. We do a lot of cars. We're not very smart.
Okay. Yeah. Well, it's the same here. We do a lot of cars. There is not really
Yeah.
any railways in the woods where I live.
Okay, you're in the woods in Sweden then?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
It's the
I-
best place to be.
Exactly. Yeah. I'm
In the
out in
woods.
the middle of nowhere. I
That's
have like
great.
5 meters to the closest neighbor.
Oh, good
Nice,
for
I like
you.
that.
So thank you so much. We hope to talk to you again soon, and have a great rest of your weekend as well.
Yeah, likewise. Thank you for having me here.
Okay, take
Thank you
care,
so
Chris.
much. Take care.
Take care. Have a
Thanks,
good
man.
day. Cheers.
Thank
We
you.
will.